Hello, this is Jo from Cranberry Beads here. It's a cold winter's day in Melbourne today, and I'm in my home studio doing some recording. I'm also doing a bit of tidying up. I think it's just like the intention to stay inside, and what better thing to do is to declutter. I mean, I could be beading, but I'm in a decluttering mood and a tidying mood, so that's what I've been doing today. How about you? Now on to the new products. So we've got quite a selection of new products, and this is over about the last 5 weeks. So everything that I'm showing you today is already on the website, and we've got a few different categories. We've got cabochons, both gemstone and Czech glass. We've got some seed beads, we've got a couple of findings, and a larger selection of Czech glass in various different shapes, sizes and colours. Okay. Now, as we go through, I will indicate whether this is limited availability or ongoing stock. And we're going to start with what is on my bead mat here. These are cabochons that are limited availability. Okay. This one here is one of my favourites, and you really just, if you can't see it in person, you have to see the video of it. These are just such an amazing sparkly colour. And this is called Rainbow Schist. And they're about 40 centimetres or so tall. Just all slightly different, but such a beautiful shimmery colour. Look at that sparkle as it catches the light. Okay, so these are $39 each, and they have flat sides, so they're more like a slice than a true rounded cabochon, but still good to work with. Yeah, bead embroidery or capturing these is both a good option. So I think we maybe have 4 or 5 of these left. I've got 3 of them here. This next stone is called Stitch Tight, and it's like a chartreuse green with purple speckles. Okay, let's take a look at one of the big ones, and you can see the detail on it in a bit more depth. I've never really been a fan of the sort of the more yellowy greens, but I am beginning to really love this because it's got purple in it anyway, which is one of my favourite colours. But really, really lovely quality these are. These are the last 2 larger ones that I have, and then I've got a collection of drops, and these are all $10. They're various sizes from sort of like 18 to 25 millimeters, I'm going to say, and these are more like 50. Okay, the price for these, this one's 34, they're both 34. Okay, if you are interested in some of these shapes but slightly bigger, we do have some of those, but they're not on the website as such because they're quite limited stock. So those are the Gemstone Cabochons. Let's move those into the corner. Next we're going to take a look at some Czech Glass Cabochons, and these are all pear shapes. Okay, hard to see these colour, but they are, see if I can get the light shining on it. Nah, they just look so dark, don't they? But it's can I get I don't know what I can do about that. They are actually like an emerald with a like a Picasso finish over the top. Yeah, I can't get that hint of green to shine, but it's definitely, oh, maybe there a little bit. You can see it's slightly green. Yeah, so that is one colour. The next colour is this aqua, and these are called backlit. And whenever you see something backlit, it's because they've got a silver backing, and so they're sort of transparent, but they're coloured transparent, and so you really sort of get the depth. And you can see it sort of reflects the light back onto my hand. That's why you get the backlit effect. So that's the aqua colour. And then this ruby is also backlit. And these are sold in twos. So this is the ruby colour. You make great little bead embroidered earrings. Endless possibilities, I think. Now this is also backlit. This is vitriol green. And these are all sort of shades of green, pink and purple. As they move, the colour changes. Okay, you can see that a little bit. Quite reflective, the light shining on them. But in real life they are stunning. And then this one is a pink, it's from Rosaline actually, Picasso Lustre. Although the colours are coming out a little bit darker on the screen than they really are. Also very nice sort of delicate colour. There we are, we can see the colour coming through a bit better there. So there we have all of the cabochons, both the glass pears and the larger gemstone cabochons. By the way, these are $5.60 for a pair and the size is 18 by 13. Okay. So let me clear these away for the next category. Next we have these Czech glass strands, which are really, really beautiful. The red really jumps out at you straight away. These are disc shapes. They are like a matte red with this rainbow sort of spiral shell etched onto them in an AB finish. So really, really lovely here. These are about 16 millimeters. We only have 3 left, so if you love these, get them now. Don't leave them hanging around in your cart. They won't last long. And those are $9.50 a strand. Next we have, let's do these drops left next. We have these, they're opaline purple in colour. I think that is a good representation of the colour there. Some are a bit lighter, some are darker, but they're beautiful and they are ever so slightly faceted around. You can see the light shining off the facets. And they've got this Picasso top and bottom feature. On these turquoise ones you can see the facets a little bit easier perhaps, and they've got this sort of bronzy top and bottom to them. Really sort of an elegant shape there, really, really pretty. So what you're seeing here is the exact number that we have left. So if you are watching this a little bit later, you may have missed out. Once again, limited availability. Now these are little dragonfly discs. These are 13 millimeter. We've had larger ones in the past. And these are sky blue, I would say. And they've got this sort of etched background, leaving the dragonfly as the base bead colour. And it's sort of a rainbow effect etching as well. So quite unusual and very pretty. And then we have got these turquoise discs, the same size, and the dragonflies on these are a little bit subtler. They're sort of, it's a shiny turquoise background, and the dragonflies on them are AB as well, and they, as you move them around, they shimmer. So a few more of those available. The next few things are, we've got some new leaves, some Czech Glass leaves. These are your good standard sort of olivine colour, transparent. So those are useful in fringe and embellishments, as are these, and they're quite pale in colour, but these are lemon daggers. Yeah, also great for embellishments, but quite hard to take a photo of because they are quite pale. Okay, they're your standard dagger length 5 by 16 millimeter. Okay, so we have those two. Then we have a couple of fire polish, which are not on strands. Sometimes you can easily get them on strands and sometimes you can't. Now this is a little bit hard to see, but this colour is magic copper. And we have 5 colours of seed beads in the magic range. Not quite sure why they're magic, but they're that's what they're called. And we do have seed beads to match this, and this is a 3mm magic copper fire polish. I'll put those down because I'm never going to get them back in the bag, am I? Not, well, not quickly, I should say. I'm not going to get them quickly back in the bag. And I don't know why we didn't already have this colour in the 4mm fire polished. This is the opaque champagne luster, so it's like a rich cream colour, quite a popular colour. We've got that colour in many other different types of beads. So I think that concludes our new Czech Glass that's on the website. Here they are. So once again, let me pack these away and I'll show you the next batch. Next we have some findings. We have this antique copper plate 5-strand slide clasp. Slide clasps are always popular and we've got it in this different colour now. Fantastic for wide bracelets. Then we have these 2 new colours of the 20mm metal rings, and we already have a silver colour, so this is just completing the range. Okay, we do have a free pattern on the website. Go check out the free pattern link that uses these, and I would highly recommend you making that pattern into earrings. I'll pop a picture of the earrings that have been made using that pattern, and I think they look a lot nicer than the bracelet pattern myself. So highly recommend grabbing some of these to make those earrings. Quick make. And also over on Katrina Starpin's YouTube channel, she has recently made some earrings, some Monica earrings, I think it is from memory, and they use a 15mm circle, but these would also work as well, and those earrings are super cute and a quick make. I'll pop links in the comments to both of those, and they both use up a small amount of beads as well, so if you want to use up some of your leftovers, great idea. Here are the Circle of Pearls earrings from the Cranberry website, and here are the Monica earrings by Katrina Starpins, links below. Now we are on to our seed beads, and seed beads, all being well, will be ongoing stock levels. First off, we have some Delica Size 10. So let me pour some of these out. So the size 10 can just be really useful when you want just a slightly bigger Delica size. And this is the rose silver lined opal. Very nice colour. And we were missing some pinks in our Delica size 10 lineup, as someone pointed out to us, so I went and fixed that. I hope these are the sort of pinks that people want. This is a bright one. I think the camera is toning it down a bit. Okay, they are quite bright. They're luminous wild strawberry, and we have this in the size 11 Delica as well. But yeah, what I'm seeing on the screen is definitely a toned down colour. So they are quite bright. It's not this sort of pastel pink that I am seeing. I don't know about you. Let's put those over there. We don't want to get our Delicas mixed up, do we? And then we didn't have any in this sort of colour as well. Transparent chartreuse AB. Wouldn't these look good together in a colourway? Pink and lime green. Okay, let me get my little triangle and clear up a little bit here, because I don't want to make too much of a mess and get all the beads mixed up. There we are. Put those away shortly, but I've got a few more seed beads to show you. First off, I've got some size 15s. We've got the matte opaque turquoise green AB 412FR, and we have recently got this in a few different sizes, so we may have all of the sizes now. Not quite sure. Let me just put some on my hand. It's very hard to see the colour on a size 15 sometimes, but they are, the FR in this instance stands for frosted and rainbow, so otherwise known as matte AB. Okay, quite hard to see it, but it is subtle AB on such a small bead. Okay, so that's the first size 15. And then we have this cobalt luster, so it's a rich deep blue with a luster. Okay, almost AB but not quite, but super shiny. Yep, when you see luster you can think that means super shiny. Okay, I'm getting some of the beads back in the tube. Let me put these down, create a little pile of those. And then we have a size 8. This is Silverline Chartreuse AB, and once again we are, oh, this lid's tight. We are trying to create the colours in several sizes. So we already have this in some of the other sizes. Really nice, bright colour. Silver-lined Chartreuse AB, and that is code 1014. Now all of these beads I'm showing you are Miyuki. Okay. Can I get them all in? Not quite. Maybe I will. Okay, and then we've got two blues. We've got the matte cobalt AB 151FR. So this is in a similar range to the turquoise matte green AB. Okay, they're matte with an AB finish. Oh, tube's really tight. So you can see the matte AB finish on this much better. A little size 8 stuck in my hand. You can see the finish on that. Beautiful. That's the matte cobalt AB 151FR. Making a good mess here, which I will tidy away soon. And then our last new product is this very delicate semi-frosted pale blue lined cornflower. Okay, so that's what it looks like in the tube, and you can sort of see that it's lined by looking at them like that. Sometimes they can look quite different out of the tube. Yeah. Once you've got a single layer of the colour line beads, they tend to be quite a bit paler. And some of them you're seeing on their end, like this little area here, but the ones you're seeing on the side is most often how you will see your beads. So it's quite a difference, isn't it, when you look at the colour lined beads on their side towards their edge. Okay. Beautiful delicate colour though, I like that. I have to think about what I might use that for. I think that one's coming into my stash. Would it work well with a dark blue? Would it work well with a turquoise? I think those are both options. We like options, don't we? Okay, well, I have made not a big mess, but a little mess with all of these seed beads. So these will stay in stock as long as they're selling, of course. If no one wants them, we won't keep buying them. But I think these are all great solid colours, and these will be a ongoing stock line. So if you love your seed beads, check out these new colours plus all of the existing ones we have. Now, if you found this useful, please consider giving me a thumbs up on this video, and I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe if you're not already done so. I think it's really worthwhile doing these videos so that you can see the colours more clearly. Sometimes a photograph just doesn't really convey the exact look of a bead, and sometimes video is not perfect either, but I think it's a one step up from just having a flat photograph. Thank you very much, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next video.